So, today we're diving deep into Salome, this incredibly mysterious new force who just shows up in a world that's been locked in a bitter, endless conflict. She represents a massive shift in the balance of power, and we're going to break down exactly what makes her such an absolute game changer.
All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the stagnant world she enters. Then, we'll get into her unique power, see how she literally rewrites the rules of reality, check out how the old guard reacts, and finally, explore what her arrival means for the very soul of this world.
Okay, first things first. To really get why Salome is such a big deal, you have to understand the grim reality she's walking into. It's a world that is totally stuck, defined by this powerful, unyielding stalemate.
And this quote from the source material just nails it, doesn't it? The whole situation is dominated by these established hyper-masculine forces. And right at the center of it all, you have a king whose entire philosophy basically is this unending deadlock. This is King Glaucus. He operates from this philosophical high ground he calls the absolute I. Basically, his whole worldview is that he and only he is the center of existence. He's the cause of everything. It's a philosophy built on total, isolated, self-sufficient control. But here's the thing, right? There's a fundamental flaw in that kind of thinking. No matter how powerful you are, you can't ever truly cut yourself off from everything else, from what the philosophy calls the not I. There's always going to be an outside force, an external reality pushing back. And that pushback, it actually has a name, Anstoß. It's an unexpected check on power. And this is Salome's whole role. She is the new Anstoß. She's the wild card, the variable that the king's entire rigid system of knowledge simply did not and could not account for. So what is it that makes Salome this potent new variable? Well, her power is it's unlike anything this world has ever seen. She's operating on a completely different level. And this slide just lays out the contrast perfectly. You have figures like the captain who are basically parasites, just feeding off of whatever runoff energy they can find. But Salome's power? It's symbiotic. It comes from this transformative bond she has with the Leviathan, a bond that wants to restore the world, not just drain it dry. This bond creates what's called a shimmering light. Think of it as a whole new frequency of power that operates outside all the established channels. It completely shatters the old triadic nightmare, that stagnant deadlock between order and negation. Suddenly, her light builds a bridge between the physical world and the abyss, expanding the entire map of reality. The fight is no longer a simple two-sided struggle. It's now a complex, multi-layered nightmare. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. How does Salome actually use this power? Because it's not about fighting enemies in the traditional sense. No, she's attacking the fundamental laws of their reality. You know, while the other sovereigns are busy manipulating the physical world, you got the architect doing his liquid-based shifts, the sea stormer using runes from the dead, Salome is on another level entirely. Her logos magic, which she channels through this emerald staff, isn't targeting things in the world. She's targeting the alphabet of reality itself. We're talking about the source code that underpins all of existence. She's not playing their game, she's trying to rewrite the entire rulebook. And this quote just brilliantly captures her true mission. This isn't about winning one fight. It's about changing the very definition of what's possible. She's challenging laws that everyone else just accepted as absolute and unchangeable. So, as you can imagine, an anomaly this powerful doesn't just go unnoticed. The established sovereigns, the old guard, they see her coming, and they immediately recognize her as a direct, existential threat to their power. So let's look at the captain again. His entire goal is to create a drought within the deep. He sees water as just a resource to be stolen to quench his endless thirst. Salome is his polar opposite. Her divine wind brings moisture back into the world. You know, where he sees water that's waiting to be stolen, she sees the memory of a soul waiting for a body. She's basically the metaphysical limit to his parasitic ambition. And then you have the Mephistophelian shadow, a spirit of pure negation. To this guy, Salome's shimmering light isn't a symbol of hope. It's just another stain of existence. He sees all her order and her logic as nothing more than a beautiful, gilded cage, an illusion designed to hide the true, silent emptiness of the deep. And get this, her very existence triggers a cosmic law. The second she creates a structure of order, an equal and opposite void of darkness is automatically created. And who is drawn to that void? the shadow. He emerges to dissolve her celestial logic, to turn it all back into primordial chaos. So in a strange way, her presence just makes the negation she's fighting that much stronger.
So here's the crucial point, the main takeaway. Salome's arrival doesn't solve the conflict. It escalates it. It transforms the whole struggle into a battle for the soul of this new era, the Anthropocene, an age where reality itself is being rewritten. She's a catalyst. She proves that the whole idea of absolute isolated power is nothing but a recursive trap. But even she isn't the final answer. Her actions are described as only a temporary stay of execution. It seems that even a goddess can't escape the crushing weight of this underworld ocean.
But what she has done is fundamentally change the equation. Down in this lightning-scarred abyss, her presence ensures that now every single drop of water carries within it the potential for divine intervention. It carries the memory of a soul.
So, ultimately, the old nightmare has evolved, and now humanity is facing a choice. Learn to breathe her divine wind, or face the total, deafening silence of the sovereign's void. And right at the center of it all is Salome, the soul-bearer, the great mystery of the deep. The real question is, will she save the sea, or will she just become its grave?